Okay, looks like we're live, and all of our friends are coming over from the Kino stream. Kino Kid and Kino Candy just had a wonderful room tour, and it was an overall vlog, but yeah, the room tour was definitely breathtaking to say the least. Absolutely loved it. Absolutely beautiful view. You guys did great.
Good job, Kino Kid and Candy.
All right. See what we got in the live chat. We got Mustache Dave already. We got Kino Kid coming through over here. We got Jerry, who is going to bed there because she needs the rest because she's been kicking the crap out of this pandemic over here. No matter what they're saying in the media, our healthcare workers are beating the hell out of this thing, and I'm so proud of every single one of them and every single one of you, guys, that's contributing to that. So thank God for all of you. Denise coming through over here, Finesse Kid coming through, Clint Holder reporting from Indiana. All right. Yes, Who's That Girl? Shout out to Who's That Girl too for linking me a copy of the stream too. Much obliged. All right, we got Christian coming through, Cinnamon Girls in here already too, Gambling Granny, Hoggin 2 Cent, Angie Roman. We got the whole gang here. Let's have some fun.
Squad goals.
Indeed. All right, Spinners and Sharks. Well, welcome back to the Hashtag Vegas podcast. I'm your host, Ace Vegas, and I hope you're doing well. And, of course, I am joined by my dear friend Roger from Two Fab Dudes. Roger, say what's up.
What's up, everybody? How's it going?
All right, we are killing it out here, man. So we got a couple things that we want to talk about today. One of them's going to be kind of sad. The other one's going to be we're going to get creative with it. So those are going to be the two important things that we're going to discuss throughout our whole live stream here. So I just got rid of the overlay instead of the other card over here, and that's what that's what life's gonna look like right now. So here we are back in business, and yeah, let's get started. So Roger, let me go ahead and ask you this. So did you get a chance to check out Spicy Steve Sisolak's stream?
Spicy Steve's stream was not as spicy as I was expecting it to be, honestly.
I don't think he's quite as grumpy when there aren't 40 people in the front room over there.
No, and you know what? He seems much calmer when he's in like just a personal setting, like his office or something, as opposed to in front of a podium and he's like, "Rah!"
Right? He's like, "This is your fault, random reporter number 22."
Yeah, exactly.
Like he's gonna beat those guys up. Like he looks angry.
Oh my god. That one conference, I swear he was gonna jump from that podium and beat the crap out of somebody.
You mean the time that he like stormed off at the end of it?
Yeah. Oh my god, that was so funny.
He was just so lit, and I was like, "Damn, okay, Spicy Steve, okay."
Spicy Steve strikes again.
So I used to call him Old Man Sisolak over there because he'd be grumpy and just kind of shaking his fist at everything. But I think Spicy Steve suits him better.
Yeah, but he definitely, you know what? Even though I know he got he tested positive for the virus,
yep.
He seems like he's in very good spirits, you know, considering what's happening. So.
Yeah, so it was definitely going to be interesting, and I took some notes for the stream over here. You guys should see this massive list of notes before everything gets started. But yeah, let's go ahead and talk about what's going down. So we heard the live stream last week, or weeks ago. How long ago was it? About 12 days ago now?
Yeah, I think it was almost 2 weeks.
Yeah, almost 2 weeks ago. And basically, what did Old Man Sisolak say? He said, "All right, you kids get off the lawn over there, or I'm gonna put up a fence and a sign or something like that," right?
Yeah. He basically took the approach of most of the governors in the country.
Right. So that then, you know, it worked out about the same way. I figured he'd do something like this because if you guys don't know, Governor Newsom, he is the governor out in California where the Kinos and Cinnamon and TVP and actually a lot of people we know are. He's actually together in a pact with the governor of Colorado, where I am. That's my buddy Jared. Can you believe he said it again? Polis. That's what we call him here. Can you believe we said it again? Actually, that's what I call him. That was a bold-faced lie. Sneaky Vegas and Seeking Vegas, they will call me out and they will keep me honest on that. But we're not a big fan of Polis either, because he's a politician. He's a little bit of a chump, and he's a politician. That's just how it is. Again, we're not trying to beat the guy up personally, but he's in the public light. He's a politician. He's open to criticism because that's his job.
Right.
That's just fact of the matter. And as tax-paying, voting citizens, we are allowed to criticize the hell out of him. Thank God for the First Amendment there.
Amen. Thank God for that, and thank God for Twitter, where we can do it publicly.
Indeed. So anyway, though, so he's in a pact with Sisolak. Newsom, Polis, and I think 2 other wankers from one of the other nearby states. Can't remember their names. Not really important right now, too. Point is, Newsom sets the pace. Then Polis follows his lead. And then after that, Sisolak follows Polis's lead. So on and so forth, and whatever happens, happens. That's what we're trying to get at here. So I'm not really surprised at the restrictions, you know?
No, I agree.
So, now that we've discussed it, let's go ahead and talk about the restrictions in Vegas and how we think things are going to kind of stack up with the trips over there. So, first things first, we're looking at a statewide pause, whatever that means.
Is this going to be like, hey, let me pause my game, I'll be right back?
Like BRB, like hold up. But it's the thing is, it's in an online game, though. Which, as you know, you can't pause.
Everything else is still happening back there.
Right? It's like being on GTA Online or Star Wars, the Old Republic. Like, yeah, you can press the button that normally pauses, but if someone rolls up on you and like shoots you, you're still gonna get shot. That's how that works.
That's exactly what it is. We're gonna pause the state, but everything is gonna happen. You're still possibly gonna catch the virus, even though you're paused.
Right?
Don't worry.
It'd be like that. But in all seriousness, though, we called it a statewide pause instead of a shutdown order. And basically what we're looking at is, first things first, masks are going to be mandatory at all times. If you're remotely around someone that, I think he said that you don't have a direct relationship or something. Basically, if you're not watching TV with them, if you know what I mean, share a last name with them or share DNA with them and also live in the same house, wear a mask.
Yep.
That's it.
And that's at all times, not just in the establishments, it's outside too.
So on the strip where you see people walking around without masks, not going to fly anymore.
Yep. Nope. 100% mask mandate all around the state now.
All right, so that's tourists and residents, like no matter what.
Yeah, and I think I'm trying to decide if it's going to be harder for the residents versus the tourists to do that. The residents understand the risks, but the tourists, a lot of these states are very lenient with their mask rules right now. Ohio is one of them, and me and Josh were in Ohio, and while we do have a mask mandate that our governor just instituted, you still go everywhere and people aren't wearing a mask. Right. It's not like it's a foolproof plan because people aren't enforcing it, because there are no repercussions for not wearing it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are there any consequences for it?
Nope. Basically, if you're caught in a store without it, you have to leave. That's all.
Okay, so it's basically private establishment rules. Like if I invite someone over to my house, they're not wearing a mask, I tell them to wear a mask. I'm like, oh, okay, you got to leave, and if you don't leave, I'm calling the cops, having you kicked out over here because it's my house and I can do that.
Exactly. But the difference here is that the cops won't actively kick somebody out of an establishment. That's just how Ohio is.
So even if it's a private business, they can't trespass them.
They can, but I not to be that person from Ohio, but there's too many other problems for the cops to worry about here.
Fair enough.
So they're more worried about the crackhead down the street versus the person not wearing a mask in the grocery store.
Yeah, you got to prioritize. You only get so many. You only get so many dollars in a budget.
Right, exactly. And we definitely have a shortage of police here. So
yeah, definitely. All right, well, let's ask about this then. So they're going to reduce capacity in high-risk areas. What did they call high-risk areas? So I know this said restaurants and bars for sure.
Yeah, restaurants, bars. I think he included like bowling alleys and things into that too. Or was that in the second part of it?
That is part of the announcement there. When they were reducing capacity, so they're doing a lot of capacity reductions too.
Basically everything.
Yeah, so it's gonna be pretty interesting to say the least. What did they say? Yeah, so they said, let's go ahead and go on with the restaurants and bars. So in addition to the reduced capacity, I remember they said a couple more things. Do you remember what all he said about the restaurants and bars specifically?
Well, obviously he's encouraging takeout orders if possible or carry-out orders if possible, the use of third-party delivery apps if possible. If you are sitting before, even if you weren't actively eating, as long as you had a drink in front of you, you didn't have to have your mask on. Right. But now he's saying, as long as you're sitting, if you're not actively taking a sip or taking a bite, keep your mask on.
So it's basically going to be mask up, mask down.
Yeah, and yep, exactly. Take a sip, put your mask back on. Yep.
Right.
Which I've got no problem with that. I think that's how it should have been from the beginning.
Right, that's pretty much what we were doing when we were out at Rocktober anyway. You know, you pull down first. I think aside from when we were at the pool, and we were usually like at least partially in the water at that point too, and also eating and drinking constantly. So
Yeah,
that was what it was. It was just what it was. So yeah,
and that was another. They weren't really enforcing it. I mean, when we stayed at it was it the Paris pool? No, the Palazzo pool. They did enforce the masks pretty heavily there on the pool deck.
yeah, they were pretty big about that at the win. The weird thing was, you know, we jumped in, and I got a whistle from the cocktail waitress, and you know, the server, the pool waitress out there. She's like, "Oh, sir, take your mask off. You're in the pool." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I forgot about it. I didn't think about it. But they don't want masks in the pool, so I thought that was interesting. So I'm not sure if that's a regulation, but yeah, you know, it's probably for the best, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, because that essentially turns swimming into waterboarding, so you don't really want to wear a mask.
Right? Yeah, definitely don't want to do that. So there's that there. Another one, yeah, Circa Pool had zero enforcement.
Yeah.
Don't forget to go check out Kino and I's videos on Circa. I think VBI did one too. We'll leave links in the comment section down below eventually, I'm sure. But yeah, that was interesting to say the least. Interesting thing with the bars and restaurants now, apparently reservations are required now. That's what Sisolak said on the stream.
Yeah, I saw that. That's I get it for the sit-down restaurants. Obviously, they're not going to do it for places like Secret Pizza, they have no sit-down area.
Right, they're just going to kick you back out. So,
but I mean, at 25% capacity plus reservations only, that's going to hinder a lot of business.
Like that's literally cutting them by a quarter. So and you figure someone sits down, you're having dinner for what, at least an hour. Like you have appetizers, you have drinks, you have dinner. Maybe you do another round of cocktails and I guess dessert before you hit the casino. It's going to be about, what, an hour and a half that you're sitting down?
Yeah. And if you include a conversation of that, you're looking at maybe 2.5 hours.
Yeah, it could be 2.5 hours sometimes. You know, especially, you know, you get married folks, so you don't get to go out like that. So, you know, out in Vegas, you ain't got the kids or nothing like that.
Yeah, so they're going to have to work very hard to be, you know, pushing parties out so they can make room for these forced reservations that they're going to have to do.
Right. So yeah, just I mean, even to stay not even profitable at this point, I don't think you can turn a profit with 25% occupancy, can you?
No, I think out in Vegas you would have to have at least a 40-45% occupancy to turn a profit.
Bare minimum.
Yeah.
Assuming not everyone's well, I guess even if everyone's getting the special, you want to make sure everyone's getting like 2 drinks out of it at least. Exactly.
And you know what? They don't make a ton of money on alcohol anyways. It's more food stuff that they make money on.
Right. So there's always that you got to consider too. So while we're on the subject of capacity though, let's talk a little bit about the gyms and the. So here's an interesting one that kind of made me smile though when he was listing the restrictions here. So in addition to gyms, ballet, and studios and all that, dance studios, and those sorts of places, Governor Sisolak specifically mentioned martial arts dojos and ballet studios, and I was like, hey, I'm a martial artist, he's thinking about me over there. And I thought that was pretty dope. I was actually really excited about that, but those are going to be reduced to 25% capacity too. Not sure how many of you guys practice your judo or your Shaolin or anything like that while you're out in Vegas. If you're local, obviously, this is a lot more interesting
right.
than as a tourist. I don't think they don't have mile high karate at the Aria. No,
on the airport terminal. Join our Mile High Karate Club.
Right. Could you imagine that you roll into actually, maybe that's something they can do for Resorts World over there.
Oh my god, that would be the only thing they have that nobody has.
It would be dope though, and they're the only vaguely Asian themed hotel on the Strip that's gonna pop up. So maybe that might be kind of dope. Like you'll get, you know, Jackie Chan comes in once every month to go ahead and teach a lesson to the high rollers or something like that. I don't know.
If that would be the case, I would have to force myself to turn into a high roller because I would love to meet Jackie Chan.
I would only gamble there. I would give up my M Life membership all the time. I'd be like, hey, you know, how many thousand do I need to make over here? Don't forget to go ahead and drop those super chats to donate to Ace's High Roller Fund so he can meet Jackie Chan at the theoretical Resorts World dojo that isn't going to open.
Yeah, right.
I'll do a shot or something. I don't know.
I'll pitch in for that fund.
Indeed. So yeah, he mentioned those are going to be reduced to 25% occupancy. And I just can't imagine doing all that with a mask. Like, I played a basketball game recently with a mask on. It was just exhausting. I did not enjoy it. Did not feel good about it afterwards. So, one of those deals there. And I can only imagine. Like, I don't know how Kakashi does it in Naruto. He's got a mask on all the time, and he's, like, whooping up on fools and all that. I'm like, no, I can't whoop up on a fool like that. No way.
No, I mean, I don't do any of that. I walk around at work, and I get winded from wearing a mask. I mean, granted, I'm not thin, but that's probably a big part of it.
Right?
I don't know how these athletes and instructors are going to do, and the students are all going to do that.
It'll be a challenge for sure there.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, even if you're very well conditioned, like, breathing is just such an important part of not just your physical body functionality, but also technique too is a really big deal. So
Right. Yes, especially in karate, it's a lot of breathing. I mean, I didn't take karate personally, but I know people that have taken it. It's a lot of not necessarily breathing exercises, but just knowing how to breathe when you're doing certain things. And with a mask, that's definitely going to be hindered.
As an owner of the equivalent of 3 black belts, I agree. It's a very challenging sort of thing, especially very high levels.
3 black belts. Ooh.
Another stream for another time. But I was very small in both. I didn't weigh very much, and I wasn't very tall up until I was like 14 years old. So
gotcha. Okay.
It comes
well, we'll do that stream maybe next weekend.
Another one, right? Good deal. TVP coming through. So Gibbsy over there. Good to see you guys. Let me see. All right, where else did we leave off? Now here's something that's a little more important. L&D. Yeah, we can talk about Super Metroid over there. And cheers
Super Metroid.
Cheers to my boy Simon in the chat too.
I haven't played Super Metroid. Oh God, I don't even know how long it's been.
I'm gonna see if there's a 2-player mod. Maybe I can play as SAX or something like that, or Dark Samus. We'll go ahead. I'm gonna look for that. I'm gonna look for the mod.
Okay, you do that.
I will hunt that down.
Seriously, the last time I played a Metroid game was when it was still a 16-bit, so it's been a long time.
Oh, we're gonna have to play some Metroid Prime. I'll find that on the Dolphin emulator. It's cool.
Oh my God.
All right. But back to tourism. So here's another thing. So for any of you guys looking to go to Vegas pretty soon here, a lot of things you guys were probably planning to do were going to be attractions. So museums, art galleries, library. Probably not libraries. Let's call it what it is. I've never been to a library in Vegas. Excuse me. Never been to a library in Vegas ever.
Oh yeah, not in Vegas. No.
Not in Vegas. No, I've been to a library, of course.
I was like, wait a second, how old are you?
I've been to college. I have a library right here, right behind me. Literally.
Oh, hell.
Right? Like I'm going for now. I think this bookshelf is mostly my wife's stuff, but a lot of my stuff's on the other side, so it's all good. So it's not just a vanilla porter. It's vanilla porter with probably I don't know. Let's go ahead and grab Michael Crichton's Prey over here. That's a personal favorite of mine because Mike Crichton, Dr. Crichton, is my favorite author of all time.
You go, girl.
All right. All right, so where did we leave off? So yeah, we talked about the museums, the art gallery, zoos and aquariums. So that means your Mandalay Bay Aquarium, the Shark Reef there, and then also Mirage's Secret Garden and the Dolphin Habitat. All going to be reduced to 25% capacity there.
Yeah, which is, it's troublesome for 2 reasons. One, the ones that are in the casinos themselves, those are going to be the ones that are going to struggle with that the most. The ones that are public out on the street, outside the city limits, those are government funded, so those won't be affected too much because they will stay open because of the government. Right. The ones in the casinos, they're going to hurt a lot, and they're probably not getting a whole lot of business as it is.
Right, but you got to keep in mind too, the ones in the casinos, though. I'll say this. Like, the Secret Garden, it's just there for people that are gambling and they have kids. So it's just something for them to do during the day. It's a loss leader. It's kind of like the buffets were. If it were safe to have a buffet, they'd leave the buffet up because, it's a loss leader, but it drives traffic. It's just another form of advertising. So I'm sure those will probably be fine. They'll probably maintain them. Someone was feeding the tigers during the mandatory shutdown.
Yeah.
They'll be fine.
Yeah, and they're probably still, since the beginning have been running on a skeleton crew anyway, so it's not going to be a whole lot of difference in that part for them.
Right.
But just like the restaurants, everybody's going to struggle for a while,
Right.
and that's just the price that everybody's going to have to pay until we can get this virus, in control of.
Yeah, all taken care of. So we'll see how Pfizer and Moderna and the other 6 places that have suddenly apparently got a 90% efficient.
Yeah, how did that happen?
A wizard did it at this point. I don't know. I'm
You're
trying
a
to
wizard,
research. The Deathly Hallows. We're at the end of it. This is Finishing Sharks.
We are at the end of the Deathly Hallows. That's what this is.
Half-Blood Prince contributed.
I gotta be honest, I never read the books. I only watched the movies.
Oh, would you like to come over?
Florian, come over and read my book.
Join us.
So I have the worst British accent ever. Sorry.
Oh no, I'm told mine is worse.
I don't know. You did that earlier off stream pretty well.
I do my best. I try.
Yeah, you did good.
All right.
So yeah, they're gonna suffer, but everybody with this 25% occupancy, everybody's gonna suffer. It just might be a little bit more prevalent to them.
Right. So here's another weird thing too. So in addition to so other things are going down to 25% too. Churches, theaters, show venues, and all that. Here's another weird thing: gaming operations. How the hell do you manage that? Is it gonna be like when we did the shutdown back in March and they just turn off like what are they gonna do? Turn off 2 slot machines in every row? Like you got a row of 3 and then you turn off 2 of them. So then you're down to, I guess that'd only be 33% capacity, but still.
Yeah, I mean the only solution that they can do is count people as they come in and go out, so they can maintain 25%. But with as many entrances that these casinos have, I don't know how they would do that.
Well, Spicy did say something like that at the retail establishments, so they did have to have somebody stationed at every conceivable entrance or exit there to count people on the way in and out. Yeah, 25% of fire code specifically, Kino. Yeah, you're right. So that might be...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because that's what they were saying about everything else, too, for the gatherings decreasing for churches and theaters and shows and all that, so that they can be open, but at 25% of fire code or 50 folks, whichever comes first. I'm sure the gaming operations will just be 25% of fire code. And
yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, a lot of those places, like MGM Grand is the equivalent of 144,000 square feet or 176,000 square feet. I can't remember which it is. But
yeah,
they've got a lot of gaming space there.
Yeah, their capacity is the size of like a small suburb of a city. So yeah, it's crazy.
You could fit like 10,000 people in that hotel at best, honestly. So
yeah, and if they're gonna do the whole counting of guests coming in and out, they're going to have to do a digital system to do it so that it syncs between all the entrances. Right. Otherwise it'd be chaos.
There's probably a sensor up there, I'm sure. There's probably going to be like a 5% margin of error or something like that. That's really absurdly high. 5% margin of error. We'll call it a 2% margin of error. But
but the gaming board, they're going to be on top of that.
Gaming board's going to be on top of it. OSHA's already on top of it. They beat up Aria already, $12,000 that we talked about a couple weeks back. So,
yeah, they got their ass kicked.
Yeah.
Well, to the public, they got their ass kicked. Aria was like, I'm ready to check.
It was a slap on the wrist, things, but it was a public slap on the wrist. It was like it's a very gentle slap in the face right there. It wasn't meant to hurt. It was just meant to make a statement.
Exactly. It's like spraying water at your dog to make them stop biting themselves.
Exactly. It's not going to hurt them, but it's definitely going to, it's going to, the reputation's there. That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So unfortunately, I'm looking at TVP down here, and it made me think of you, man. But it looks like nightclubs are still going to be closed, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think it'll be a long time before we see nightclubs opening back up again.
Yeah, like no more Hakkasan. I think it's going to be a rough time. Rough time getting up to what is it? Foundation Room. That's my club. That's my club is Foundation.
Oh, okay.
It's a lounge.
God, I mean, we don't go to clubs, so I don't know all the clubs in the city. But
we're 30 now. We don't really do the clubs anymore. We'll do like ultra lounges and we'll do bars and all that, but we don't really do clubs anymore.
Yeah. So the clubs haven't opened since the beginning of this, correct?
I think some of them have been kind of skirting by because they've rebuilt themselves as lounges, kind of like Vicky's, Vegas Vicky's downtown. And also, some of the other places are kind of doing things like Circuit, for example. We went to Stadium Swim after the game was over. They had a DJ spinning, there were drinks flowing and all that. It felt like a club. but it was open and I could breathe and I could see things and I enjoyed actually, it wasn't like a club at all.
Yeah, so I mean, if more of them could do that, that would probably be the best solution for them. But I don't see the closed space ones. I don't see them opening anytime soon.
Yeah. So yeah,
Unfortunately.
no, proper nightclub's not going to be a thing anytime soon. But a lot of them are still open as lounges, so it doesn't really matter. So they're at that reduced capacity anyway, and they're going
Yeah.
to require reservations. So there you go. That's the head.
Yeah. And they could easily do that, especially if some of the clubs that serve food, they could easily open up as a lounge.
Right. So here's another interesting thing too. So now we got to discuss what could happen in the future if after 3 weeks shit doesn't get better. Let's say it out loud. Let's swear a little bit just to add some gravity to the situation. If shit doesn't get better, stuff's gonna get worse. Here is all right. So I don't know what Spicy's plan is exactly. He said he might close gyms, he might restrict gatherings, he might close indoor dining. These are the steps before a full shutdown. I'm not sure what his exact system is. Although from the sounds of things, I kind of have an idea of what he's doing. Check this out. So I'm not sure if you guys can see this on the screen over here. But this is what we're looking at here in Colorado. There's 6 threat levels. It'll probably remind you of the old, President Bush's old, he had a meter too, but it was for something that wasn't a virus. It was for something else, something a little more political, if you know what I'm saying. So basically, there are 6 different levels. If it used to be 5, they upgraded it to 6. There's a green level, there's a blue level, there's a yellow level, there's an orange level, there's a red level, and now there's a new purple level for some reason, because people are going to get really freaked out if we closed everything again. Because in Colorado, that did not go well. People were not happy. And currently in Denver and a lot of other counties, I think 16 or 17 counties, basically all the counties where people live, you're looking at red level right now. So the metrics are too high. A lot of indoor activities are prohibited or strictly limited. I know in some areas, offices are reduced to 10% capacity. Alcohol isn't being served after 8. Bars are closed again. Gyms are at 10% capacity, which you can't turn a profit at. That's insane.
Wow. No.
Yeah, if you go into church, you get either 25% of the fire code or 50 people. That's it. Any personal services, which I think your salons and barbershops, you get up to 25 people or 25% of capacity, whichever is smaller. And they're not allowing personal gatherings. They don't care who it is. No Thanksgiving this week. All restaurants have closed indoor dining. And what else? Open air. Yeah. So outdoor dining is still allowed for some reason, but only for parties in the same household, so you can't invite friends. Indoor entertainment's been canceled. Yeah, it's just a bit of a mess, really. In most schools, I mean, they've had some spikes, so a lot of kids are kind of home right now.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's at the red level. Purple makes it worse. I can't remember exactly what it is, but purple makes a lot of things mandatory. I think offices are mandatory, or I don't think they're mandatory closed unless I think they are if they're non-essential businesses. Retail is supposed to go back to what is it, like the phase 2 stuff where we were just doing carry out deliveries for Best Buy only, and all that other nonsense there. So it's looking pretty rough. So because Sisolak and Polis are such good friends, and because of the similarities between their restrictions over here, I predict that the next level is probably going to be a little more extreme than that. And then if it gets worse from that level there, at that point, shut it down like a circus clown. That's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah, I agree. And I think the easiest way to predict that is, like you said earlier, just follow what California is doing between now and 2 weeks from now. And then a week from that will probably be what Sisolak does.
So, yeah, we'll see what goes down there. And apparently a lot of other states are doing that. According to the live chat, I know Gwen Lewis out there, and then there's someone else I saw. I forgot who it was earlier in the live chat, also in Minnesota too. But looks like they are indeed under the purple rain sort of deal there. So a lot of things are closed. I'm not sure if you guys know that Wonder Woman is also from Minnesota, so that's where Themyscira is. It's in centralized United States of America. and they are pretty much on a 4-week lockdown at this point over here. And
Wow.
we don't want Vegas to get to that point, but it's looking like with the cases and the spikes and the stress on the healthcare system, it's very much headed that way. I think they said they had something like 2,400 cases yesterday or something absurd
Yeah.
like that.
And it seems to be going up about 10 to 15% additional every single day out in Nevada.
Which is pretty scary, frankly.
That's terrifying. Ohio's got the same level for the color coding system, with the top levels purple, the bottom levels, I think, almost white or yellow, whatever it is.
Right.
And most of the states are doing a color coded system. I think Nevada and Minnesota are two of the worst right now. So, I mean, I could see Nevada because it's a tourist hotspot. There are people from all over the country and world there.
Right, but I think that's kind of the thing there. I'm not sure how many people are getting tested out there as tourists and all that. Also, I mean, aside from the Canadians, nobody's coming through over here, and it's still, even then, very few Canadians are coming through. Unfortunately, our friend Penny's for Vegas had to cancel his trip because of the current, because of the current situation with the virus. Things are getting worse. They're not getting better, so he had to cancel his trip as a result. And it's just, it's just not looking great. A lot of places have curfews now. Technically, we have a curfew out here. You can't be out past 10 o'clock up until, I think, 5 or 6 in the morning or something absurd like that, unless you're going to work specifically or you have an emergency medical situation.
Yeah, same thing here. Yeah, it's I honestly I don't think he's not going to shut down the state again, because economically he won't do it because they can't afford to.
Oh no, I mean that's the whole reason that they're open. He even said that we can't afford to shut down the casinos right now because it devastated our economy.
And it sucks that our economy is based the fact that we can't save lives because we have to keep everything open.
Right.
It sucks that it's like that, but it's been that way for 200 years. We get it.
At this point, I mean, we bought into capitalism. There's some benefits of that, like you can jump on an internet show and make money just by drinking beer. And then there's the other half. There's the other half of that too, is that if you lose your job, then odds on you lose your health care too. That's another thing. There are pros and cons. There are pros and cons. It's just how every system is.
Yeah, and you know what? We've got such a yin yang system here where there's so many good things, but they're also mixed with so many bad things.
Right.
But one does not work without the other, and that's how this pandemic. That's what this pandemic has really shown us is, yes, we can shut things down to save lives, but in the long run, here's the yang where we have to open back up. Otherwise, businesses are going out of business.
Yeah, people going out of business, people losing their homes, losing their jobs. Then if you're out there, the question is how many people can you say? You got this. On the one hand, this guy over here, he's asthmatic. He's otherwise doing fine, but if he gets this thing, he's going to be in really bad shape. There's not going to be a ventilator to save his life. But if we're shutting down, so we do have the equipment for that. Then you got Joe over here, who's otherwise very healthy there, but at this point he's in an interesting spot in his career where he had gotten laid off because of something. He had just gotten a job back, and now he's trying to rebuild his finances. And then there's a perfect shutdown right there, and he's trying to figure out, well, what am I going to do to feed my family before the house is foreclosed on and we're out on the streets in the middle of winter. So
exactly,
yeah, it's a tough situation. It really is.
Both of those guys, because of either losing their job or whatever reason, they both probably won't have health care because of that too.
Yeah, so there's just no way to work things out. It's just a very careful balancing act until we can come up with a permanent solution for all this.
Right. I mean, I do agree with Spicy that hopefully this 25% thing will at least partially get this virus in check for the state. It'll help, but it's not going to do all of what he hopes it's going to do, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, I think the interesting thing, I'm kind of glad that they didn't do a curfew, because I think that probably would have effectively shut down Vegas. I mean, what do you do about that? Like, how would a curfew even work? Does that mean everybody out of the casino? Those places are designed to run 24/7.
Exactly, and that's the thing, is that Nevada or Las Vegas is basically the only city in the entire country that is a 24-hour city.
Right. I mean, you get some other
but
New York, Chicago, LA, yeah, there's stuff going on 24 hours, but Vegas specifically, you're 100% right, is designed that way. Like, they did it intentionally
Right, right. That's why there's no windows, because you don't know what time of day it is. And if they can't, that's why they can institute a curfew. They'll never be able to do a curfew system out there.
Yeah, no, and no
As
one's
much,
gonna know what time it is. 2 o'clock.
no,
Stuff just gets popping at 10 o'clock. I think TVP even said that
yeah,
on his stream. It's like, hey, at 10 o'clock's when stuff gets. I can't do his voice. He's got that awesome radio voice over there. But no, that's seriously when the game starts. There, it's 10 o'clock
yeah,
at night. It's like, all right, cool. You guys had dinner at 8. You go back, you freshen up a little bit. Like, I'll sleep till like 6 or 7 at night sometimes, and then get back up and like, okay, cool, we're doing this. If I wake up early, go to the pool, then I go back by noon, I go to sleep, and then I wait until nighttime.
yeah. And that's not just to say for, clubs and bars and stuff. A lot of these restaurants, especially downtown, like Evil Pie stays open intentionally till 2 a.m. every
Yeah,
night.
they'll have those weird hours. It's a good thing.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a 24-hour city.
Right.
Yeah, they can't shut it down. I mean, they can't do a curfew. There's no way.
No, it'd be way too rough. Yeah, I just don't think it would work too terribly well. Oh man, so yeah. I mean, any final thoughts on that? Now that we have to reestablish a few things as far as entertainment. How do you feel about Governor Sisolak's choice over here? Again, we are making fun of the political policies over here. We're not trying to beat up on him. It's not like a whole hate speech thing over here. But he's a political figure. He's a public figure. He is open to scrutiny and criticism, and that's how it is. That's how the First Amendment works.
Yeah, I there's a lot of governors across the country that they're doing the best they can. Um, like Governor DeWine, he's getting a lot of scrutiny here in Ohio. But the main issue is the not to get political, because I don't want to get political,
Right. Yeah.
but the current administration did toss out the playbook and gave the governors direct control of their states to handle this pandemic. If we would have kept it on a national level, we probably wouldn't be where we are now.
So there's a theory on that one there. Yeah, me personally, I don't know. I mean, I think everybody's in the ultimate no-win situation. These guys
Yeah.
are politicians. They don't. Let's call it what it is. They're politicians. We can prove that they're politicians. They are not physicians. They're not scientists. They do not understand macro or microbiology on that level. They are not really in a good position to make these decisions in that sort of informed manner without anyone who knows everything. That's why they have all these doctors over here, because the doctors that they have working for them are their only hope. If they had to do this by themselves, they probably would have ran us into a wall, I think, personally, because they're not equipped
Absolutely.
for that sort of thing. I'm not an
Absolutely.
infectious disease. I'm not a pathologist or anything like that, so I wouldn't be able to make a decision either. So I think a lot of them are in a really rough spot right now. 10th Amendment aside and all that, even if that wasn't a thing, I think everybody would be in a really rough spot regardless.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're doing the best they can. I think the most important thing at this point is for us to all do the best we can, so we have something to enjoy and something to go back to, and some money on that. And to quote Shanta Newham in the live chat over there, no politicians are good. I cannot drink to that more. In fact, we're going to finish our beer to that.
In fact, I'll drink my water to that because I don't have a drink on me. Yeah, I agree,
No
100%.
such thing as a good politician.
I think the main thing that we want people to get from this is, regardless of whether you believe this is a real threat or not, it's not going to kill you to wear your mask, wash your hands, distance from each other when possible, and carry hand sanitizer with you. It's not hard.
Good deal. All right, well, let's go ahead and change things up a little bit. Let's make it a little more fun over here. Let's talk about... This is going to be so weird to talk about right now. Let's talk a little bit about entertainment. So I got a little card over here. It is it's the X burlesque over here.
Oh,
Because,
God.
I like burlesque. It's my favorite form of entertainment. Like live entertainment. Not just for the obvious reason. Not just for the obvious reason. I got a reason for it.
For the two fed boobs, yeah, we know.
I mean, in addition to that, it's like a talent show, and it's it's like a strip club sort of thing too, but it's also kind of, it's tasteful, and you also get some comedy worked in there. It's actually a really cool time. I thoroughly enjoy burlesque shows, and I'm a little concerned about them given the current situation. So with our reduced capacity, I'm sure a lot more shows, in addition to, unfortunately, Cirque du Soleil, Zumanity specifically, that one shut down. Like a circus clown. That's just kind of that's a catchphrase. That's actually that wasn't a pun intended. I just called that. But no, that's going down. So I guess the real question is, if you are going to Vegas, what are your plans for entertainment, and what suggestions can we offer? So Roger, let me ask you this: if you and Josh were going to Vegas right here, right now, actually, you know what? Let's say Tuesday. You're going to Vegas when all this goes down. You got the statewide pause. You have to have reservations for restaurants. You're down to 25% occupancy. You know, your gym is your dojo. You can't go train with Jackie Chan at the not so open resorts world right now. What in space are you planning to do for entertainment right now?
Well, right now, okay. So I know there's still quite a few shows that are still closed altogether. Our favorite show that we have seen maybe half a dozen times is Piff the Magic Dragon at Flamingo.
Okay.
And he was doing, from the beginning of the pandemic up until recently, virtual shows through Zoom, where you'd buy a ticket and you watch it online. You could still interact and all that. They just recently went back to the theater, so I don't know what this is going to mean for the or for the 25% closure. But I would 100%, if he's still in a show, you'll see me in a mask and a shield and a hazmat suit sitting in his audience watching his show, because he is hilarious.
Nice. There you go. Now, you mentioned the virtual shows here. Let me ask you this. So if you did get forced into a virtual ticket there, would you just go back upstairs to your room, maybe hook up your laptop or your phone to the TV over there, or what would you do?
Yeah, absolutely, because most of the hotels now have such big TVs in the rooms that it's a standard for most brands to have large TVs.
Right.
Which I'd much rather, instead of watching it on my my tiny screen, watch it on my big screen TV in my room. And most of them are either Chromecast enabled or Alexa enabled, so you could just remote or air connect to it right now anyway. Yeah. So that'd be awesome. Yeah, I'd do that 100%.
Yeah, and if you can't, then usually your laptop, you just got a cable that'll do it too, or like my PlayStation. Anytime I'm working on a YouTube video, my PlayStation always wants to cast when I'm working on in the living room, and like, stop doing that. I hate it when it does that. So
Sony Systems are the tyrants of the gaming world.
I will tell you, it's like, if you cannot show me what's happening, then I will show no one. It always turns it off right after. It drives me nuts. Hate the damn thing.
Yeah, I had the same problem. I feel your pain.
I'll tell you. Let's see what live chat has to say about this here. Let me see. Pinball Hall of Fame is open. Carol Shelby Museum is awesome as hell. So Oliver would go to museums. Okay, I like that. Oliver's a cultured sort of fella right there. I dig that. Let's see. LA Shadow is hoping that everything comes back, hoping for Cirque to come back there. And let's see. 2 face masks and a face shield. Oh, also alcohol to spray on everything. 100% confirmed, Coco.
Yeah, I agree, Coco.
Oh, see, Gwen likes Piff too, Roger.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Piff is a great show. He's hilarious. Him and Jade, over the course of the past 5 or 6 years, we've gotten to know them pretty well, so they're good people.
Nice. All right. Angie's asking about spas. Spas are still open. They're still open. They're also going to be down to 25% capacity. I don't think it's required that you have a reservation, but, I mean, you're probably going to need to have a service there, so you're also really going to need a reservation anyway. Can't imagine.
Yeah, I think most of those things are easier with reservations anyways, I imagine.
Right. Like, I don't think I'd show up to... Oh, actually, no, that's not true. I went to Vidara's spa without a reservation. I didn't order any service. I just got a spa pass, just kind of hang out in the steam room and their hot tubs, hung out in the tea room. I watched some football on TV and all. That was nice. I enjoyed it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I think that's another frontline job that I give them props too, because they're obviously it's physical contact for them all day, every day.
Right. So that's going to be kind of troublesome, but yeah, I don't think that Governor Sisolak shut those down. because I think he lumped that in with salons and a few other things. Yeah, salons, barbershops. It's looking to be about the same. No, actually, no, those might be 50% capacity. I might have mistranscribed that. It was a tough. It was a tough stream to watch, but
It was painful.
I'll tell you what. For being a politician, he's not a very good public speaker. Honestly, it sounds like you're getting lectured by your dad every single time he shows up. Only difference is you like your dad. I don't like Sisolak.
Yeah, no. Yeah, he talks, and I feel like I'm getting, like you said earlier, reprimanded by my grandpa. It's crazy.
Exactly. Like you're sitting here, like it's you, but on the different, you like your grandpa, you like your uncle, you like your dad, whoever it is, your mom, auntie, whatever, you like them. So the scolding is just like, are you serious? Now it's just like someone you don't like is scolding you. Like I even liked my principal in school.
Yeah, same.
The scolding was just awful, and I got scolded all the time. I was a bit of a slacker in school, believe it or not.
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think I believe that.
You ever seen Naruto?
Yes.
Yeah,
oh God.
I was Shikamaru. I like to think I was Sasuke. I was Shikamaru.
Okay.
Bare minimum to get by because I didn't want to be bothered. I'd rather sleep.
Well, you ever see Beavis and Butthead? I was Beavis and Butthead in school.
Outstanding. Oh man. So let's see what else. So my idea personally, I think the best entertainment venue going forward is, and I'm going to go ahead and plug this over here. Richard did not pay me for this. Tamara and Gord kind of did because they did the reservation for us. Stadium swim. The pools are going to be what's good. Think about it this way. Here's what I'm hyped about. These are late night pools over here. So let's say Cromwell on the Strip. They got Dre's, as you guys know already. That's adults only as is. And they got the nighttime pool party and all that, which is nice. It gets a little lit. They got the light up pools and all that good type of stuff. It's a good time. I thoroughly enjoy that. And then Stadium Swim, they also had lights on the pools. You're watching football there. If you're into sports ball, sports go sports. You know what I'm saying?
Sports ball.
If you're into sports ball and all that. Now, me, I'm a Giants fan right now. I'm not super into football right now because we suck this year. We suck hard this year. But, I'm still Big Blue Wrecking Crew to the day I die. No questions asked. Absolutely love it. But yeah, a lot of these pools are heated. They have the capability of running year-round as long as it's not, like, snowing and frozen out there, which it very rarely gets to in Vegas. It very rarely snows, and then it only freezes probably about, 2-3 weeks out of the year, honestly. It's a great time to do it. So, yeah, Stadium Swim. Dre's at Cromwell. Honestly, I think the best thing that Vegas hotels can do right now is if pancakes, we'll talk about that in a minute. So asking about nude pools.
I just
European,
saw that.
There's European bathing. I think that should be maybe that'll be a podcast for another time. European bathing.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you guys are into Stadium Swim, I think it's something like $25 a seat or $30 a seat. But you also get $25 in food and beverage credit there, so you can get a snack and a drink and all that. The whole 4 hours that you're over there for your reservation, 2 to 4 hours. I think we were there for 4 hours, and it was a good time. General admission's only $10, but it doesn't guarantee you a chair or anything like that. We bought seats specifically for the pool party, so that was pretty dope.
Yeah.
But yeah, just given so if it's adults only, I think every Vegas hotel needs an adults only pool that has at least 2 shifts. There should be a daytime shift and there should be a nighttime shift. So there should be a shift that goes from 8 to 5 or whatever. Then they close it down for a little while. Then they open it back up at 9 or something like that and go until 4 in the morning. Give them enough time to clean up and get the pool ready or whatever. I don't know how long it takes to take care of these massive pools or anything like that. But the adults only pools are usually smaller. Like the what's the name of the one at the Wynn? They have a European, the Sunset Pool. That one's European bathing, so that one's 21 and up only. That one's smaller. There's also one at Mandalay Bay. I think it's called is it Mirage or Mandalay Bay that has bear? I know both of them have an adults only pool. I think it's Mandalay that has bear. So there's that one. There's also Wet Republic at MGM Grand and all that. They're smaller. They're smaller pools. They cram a lot more people in there, but they're smaller pools. I think they could feasibly do something like that. So if we had something like that, and you also have like a Boulevard Pool at Cosmo where they have the big ass screen like they do at Circa there. It's not quite as big as Circa's, but it's a pretty big screen, I think. And they show movies and all that. That I think would be like the best Vegas entertainment just going forward. Especially, Bear is Mirage. Thank you, Water Wilds and Weeds. If you have not subscribed to them, by the way, go ahead and hit them up over there. Great channel, good stuff. See, we see W3 everywhere.
Yeah, we do.
All over the place. Big Vegas supporter. Pillar in the community, I swear. Can't remember Mandalay's naked pool, or topless pool, I should say. It's Mandalay's topless pool.
I have to agree with Gwen too, by the way.
Well, what's
Gwen said European bathing is one thing, but Americans bathing is scary.
Hey, shots fired. Maria Beach. That's the Maria Beach Club. So that's the European pool, but that's a heated pool because I actually went there with Wonder Woman for our anniversary in January a couple years ago. Basically, when I started the channel 2 years ago. And it was a heated pool there, and then there was also kind of a hot tub pool and all that, which was pretty cool. It wasn't adults only because it was the only pool open at the time, so the kids in obviously had to keep the chi-chis all hidden in there, so you're not allowed. So no chi-chis and algas. It was all just it was just regular pool rules there, but normally it's an adults only pool.
Yeah. I think Flamingo has an adults only pool too, don't they?
I think they do. I don't go to Flamingo very often. I've been there once for a party. I think it was an after party I got invited to. And that was, I think that was about it. I've never stayed at the property as a guest, personally.
Oh, 10 years ago it was really nice. Now I wouldn't do it.
I wouldn't do it right now. I mean, it's a historic property, so I'd like to actually stay there as a guest one of these days, maybe before my Caesar's Diamond expires. I'll try that.
Yeah, it's not bad, but they definitely have some areas that need renovated because it is older.
Right, definitely. Hey, Pop-Up coming through over here. Hey, Pop-Up, let me ask you this. What's your idea for Vegas entertainment going forward now that we know about all these restrictions over here? Obviously, we're doing our Binions drinks coming up. But, live chat. Well, we got a couple more minutes. I think we got about 10 more minutes in the stream over here. What else are you guys planning to do? I saw a lot of eating and gambling here, but what's gonna be your main source of entertainment now that we're looking at reduced possibilities of shows, reduced indoor dining and all that. Let's say in-home dining. I hope that's not reduced.
Well, it's gonna be because you're gonna not be able to gather more than 10 people, right?
Right. So there's that. Yeah. So in-home dining. There you go. I guess. If you eat more than 25% of the time in your home, you're not allowed to do that anymore. Steve Sisolak.
Right.
Let's see what live chat has to say about this. I am curious.
Oliver said the Wynn show at Parasol down.
Oh, okay, there you go. Because that's still going to be kind of open, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, so that's a good sign there. What's Patrick thinking? Ellis Island. That is true. I do love me some Ellis Island over there. I don't think the karaoke bar was open in Rocktober when we went, though, right? Because we didn't go sing karaoke. I know we all had plans to, but we didn't.
No, yeah, it was closed because they tried to book VBI the entire karaoke room, right. And they wouldn't let us do it.
Right. So that's a shame, right there.
It does suck for them because that would have been easy money for them.
Oh yeah, no, we were all fixing to go. We were all fixing to drink right there. We were ready for it.
Yep.
I'm a steer at TI. Unfortunately, TI is trash because of Phil Ruffin, but
I like how you say that as a chorus line.
Right. You always have to sing it. You're obliged to sing it. It's the rules. Triple Ripley, yeah, Gord. TV on the Cosmo balcony. As long as it isn't more than 2 households, Gord, you're good. I think that's fine. Just keep the... Yeah, so the pineapple salad is going to be a little reduced this time. Just a couple cherries, couple pineapples.
I agree with Tom and Mindy, too. They said the Christmas decorations, yeah.
Okay, there you go. Bellagio, They have some Christmas decorations there, so that'll be pretty nice. Let's see.
PJ.
PJ can set up a bar on the sidewalk in front of the fountains.
Yeah.
We should call him. Oh, dude, do you have his number? We should call him right now and tell him.
I do not. I do not have.
I've done that once. I did that to TVP.
I bet you
actually.
Tamara has it.
I bet you. Tamara, drop PJ's number in the live chat. No, don't do that.
Yeah.
Have people harassing him all day. What's the recipe for this again? Who are you again? I'm a little busy.
It's 3:00 in the morning. Where are you calling me from? Bloody hell, I want a fuzzy navel.
Right? Matt Bridger confirms.
Sorry, Matt, if you're watching this, my accent's horrible.
All right, Matrix will save us. Matrix has been coaching me through comments, so that's helpful.
Oh, okay, good. I need a coach too, then, when I'm done with you.
We're working on it just a touch there. Short of Jameson, maybe, mates.
See, you do so well. I'm so bad at it. I say mates, I'm like mates.
Say a little Australian, right? Mates.
Hey, mates. Sounds like mites when I say it.
Right. Hashtag where's pennies? Good question, Josh. We need to discuss that there.
Pennies is sulking because he just canceled his trip. I guarantee that.
You know, let's pour one out for Pennies over here. Or
he's in a sugar. He's probably in a sugar coma too because they're probably eating those peanut butter things that
buffet princess cooked him under the table there. Thank God for her too. You know, here's the Pennies and buffet princess. I'm glad I got to meet Pennies in real life though for Rocktober though. That was awesome.
Yeah, me too. Awesome. He's a cool guy.
Definitely cultural exchange.
Yeah, he's a good guy. Does Pennies know where he is?
Good question.
Josh is killing it tonight.
He's just on it today.
Oh my God.
Well, let's see. A lot of people are waiting out until 2021. Gwen's waiting until 2021. Who's that girl who canceled her trip too, unfortunately?
Yeah.
So Vegas is going to be in for a rough couple months, unfortunately. I'm very much looking forward to cashing this in over here. If you guys didn't get one of these over here, don't forget your one card, courtesy of our boy Richard Wilk down at the D and now the Circo Las Vegas. Again, this isn't a sponsored episode. He didn't pay me for this. I just got this in the mail, and I'm like, bro, thank you so much. So,
but if Richard wants to sponsor it,
there you go, right? I'm sure there might be another $1 or $2 in the marketing budget. You know, putting that out there.
Is there a book by date in the pamphlet?
Yes. I have to either use them in January, or it's between the 3rd of January and the 27th, or the 1st of January and the 28th.
Oh, okay. So you have to use them pretty soon then.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll be, I mean, it's like 3 months out. I usually plan my Vegas trips about 6 weeks out, so.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Well, yeah. That's only a 45-minute flight from where you're at?
About an hour and a half.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's not bad.
Franklin Park has a question. Going Thanksgiving weekend, should I cancel? Ooh. Frank, I gotta tell you, brother, if you're not a hardcore gambler and not a hardcore foodie that's looking for a very spontaneous time, I predict you're going to be in for a difficult trip. I'm not going to say no, not going to say yes either way, but given the restrictions we discussed earlier in the video, you're going to want to very carefully plan your dining options, your casino hopping, frankly. You'll probably want to stick with your home casino the later it gets.
Yeah.
And what else was I thinking about? Your entertainment options that aren't eating and gambling and drinking, frankly. And even those options, you want to make sure you're working on reservations too. So, it's up to you, man. It's, I tried to be a little more spontaneous on the circuit trip and all that. It was somewhat successful. I think it was about 75% successful being spontaneous, and I like to do that spontaneously. Mm-hmm. But if you're food blogger, like to get, you're fine, man. Go ahead and go. You'll be fine. Make your reservations in advance. Just make your reservations in advance. You're just fine. Yeah, you are the perfect person for Vegas right now.
And it's not a suggestion for the reservations thing. It's a required thing. You have to make reservations now. So be sure to get those booked now before they fill up because they are going to be only at 25%
Right.
capacity.
And that's if you want to sit down somewhere nice. I think I think Whataburger is probably going to be fine, or just not Whataburger, In-N-Out Burger and White
Yeah,
Castle and all that. You know what I mean?
yeah, any of those quick service places will be fine. It's the sit down restaurants that'll be a little bit harder to get into, I
Oh
think.
my God, Hell's Kitchen is going to be literal hell on wheels to get into now.
Oh, yeah. Oh man, Gordon Ramsay's gonna be flipping his lid.
It's like, why didn't you wear your bloody fucking masks?
What are you? An idiot sandwich?
Your lungs are raw from coughing.
This chicken's so raw it just crossed the street on its own.
Oh man, that's gonna be rough though. I'll tell you what.
Also, yeah, Josh makes a good point. Open Table, I would say probably 8 out of 10 restaurants at least use Open Table for their reservation systems, and that's a good way to manage your reservations that you're going to make. Just do them all through Open Table.
Yep, same deal with NFI over there, Angie. And don't forget, guys, if you're a Diamond member at Caesars, you also get $100 dining credit too
Yeah.
for participating restaurants, which kind of rotate out a little bit too. But the Gordon Ramsay restaurants are included on that, especially Gordon Ramsay's Pub and Grill. So that's a good one to go with. And Nine Fine Irishmen, they brought back the 2-for-1 voucher, the $35 voucher, back in my Vegas. So if you're gonna go for it, get your reservations on Open Table. It doesn't affect your comps. Just saying. Don't forget about that.
That's nice. That's good to know.
All right. So, yeah. Any final thoughts there? I think we are at the top of the hour over here. Yeah. What are your final thoughts on entertainment? So, if you're going to Vegas tomorrow, what are you doing, brother?
If I'm going to Vegas tomorrow, God, I wish I was going to Vegas tomorrow.
Yeah.
Um,
Me too.
I mean, honestly, it's personally, I would stay away from shows and stuff just because of what's going on, and I know people are having a hard time with the masks, so I would stay away from shows. But I like to gamble and eat, so that could be my two entertainment things. If I had to see a show, it would be Piff, like I said earlier. Um, yeah, I think I would just stay away from a lot of shows at this point.
Right.
Give it at least another couple months until things cool down.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm kind of in the same situation with you. I'm definitely hitting the adults only pools. I'm gonna go to a lot more adults only properties. I think personally, I think going forward too, and just as a rule, especially in these times here, because they usually have lower capacity anyway, and also, well, frankly, just because they're a little more relaxing. So
Yeah.
and they're gonna have fewer people at them anyway, regardless, just because kids aren't allowed in them. So people aren't going to want to deal with that. So I'll be
Yeah.
at the pools there. I'll see about maybe open air sort of stuff too. Maybe go up to Mount Charleston instead of spending all the time on the strip. And
That's a good
then,
idea.
yeah, so then when we get back, we'll do a little gambling. I'm just definitely going to have to plan the trips going forward. So our trip in January, February is probably going to be a little more planned there. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, Josh is always the planner for our trips. I like to keep things more spontaneous, but obviously that's kind of hard to do right now.
All right.
So, yeah, I agree with that. A little bit more planning than normal.
All right, master planning. We'll go ahead and we'll go ahead and I'll get together with Josh. We'll plan out a trip for and then the lot of us will go. It'll be you, me, Wonder Woman, and Josh. It'll be a good time. We'll work that out.
Sold.
All right. All right, Spinners and Sharks. Well, I think that's all the time we have today. So once again, I want to thank Roger from Two Fab Dudes for joining us today. Best co-host. Thank you very much, sir. Don't forget to subscribe to his channel there. Got him in the description box below. Actually, did I finish the description box today? It has been such a stressful weekend at work. I might not have finished the description box. I'm going to have to fix that later. But for those of you on replay, it will be in the description box down below. And I think Roger, I think Josh from Two Fab Dudes is going to drop the channel link in there, or one of my many, many other wonderful mods will drop the channel link in the live chat over there. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Putting that out there. There's Kino Kid coming through. Attaboy, my man.
Awesome. Thank you, Kino.
Nice. Well, yeah, thanks again, Spinners and Sharks, for coming through. Hopefully this will be helpful for those of you that are still planning your winter Vegas trips. And, yeah, I think that's about it. So until next time, Spinners and Sharks, this is Ace of Vegas. And, Roger, you want to do your sign-off over here?
Yep, Roger from Two Fab Dudes. We want to thank you guys for coming. Stay fab out there.
All right, we're signing off, wishing you strong hands, and of course, happy spinning, you guys. Good night, everybody.